Hi there, Danny here, and this is the dropper post. So this is the seat post, which allows you to adjust the saddle height during a ride. So on the fly, you can change it, and you can change it a lot. That means when you want to go for some really steep descents, you want to learn how to bunny hop, how to do different techniques, or how to, if you need to lower the center of your gravity, the dropper post is the way to go. That's why that's the best, one of the best upgrades for the trail bike. I'm gonna mount this one just in a second. It is pretty easy to do. Mine is operated with the mechanical cable. These can also be hydraulic ones, and after installation I'm going to show you how it actually works when it's on the bike. Installing a dropper post on the bike is not really a complicated thing. You just need to know a couple of things. You need the dropper post, that's for sure. You need the cable if it's the mechanical one, and the housing. If it's the hydraulic one, you're gonna have the hydraulic housing with the oil inside. And also we need the lever and some small parts for assembling the whole thing. The first thing you need to know is whether or not your frame will be dropper post ready. And so before having fun with your dropper post on the bike, you need to make sure that your seat tube on the frame will fit your seat post. That means that the diameter of both tubes should be matching. In this case it's 30.9 millimeters. So if I take the calipers and I measure the diameter inside this tube, it is 30.9. You probably don't see it, but it's matching. That means I can use this dropper post for my frame, and with the dropper post we're gonna have some limited options in terms of the diameter. So make sure those will be matching. The next thing is the cable guide through your frame. And here we have basically three options. The cable of the housing can be guided fully externally, so you don't need to have your frame prepared for that in any way, but you need a dropper post which will fit that system. It can be also partially external and partially internal, and this case, my bike, is the fully internal cable routing. That means this cable for my dropper post goes in right here through this special insert. It goes into the main tube, then under, like through the bottom bracket area, and then inside the seat tube, and it goes out right here. Some bikes will have some holes right there so that the housing will go in and out, in and out. So just make sure which system you have, check out which system you have on your bike. Usually the holes for the housing should be, I think, 8 millimeters. If you need to guide your housing by yourself, check out also all the inserts. Now most of the inserts are pretty smart. You can remove those and put and guide the cable pretty easily. In some cases you would need to remove the bottom bracket. Now we are ready to mount all the parts. So this is the dropper post, this is the cable we've got, and here we've got the lever which we're going to mount on the handlebars, and also the cable stop, this small nut which I'm going to install on the cable at the end of it. Here is how it works. Okay, the cable with the nut goes right here, and if I pull this, maybe you will see what's happening to the saddle. It goes up. Okay, so it will push this little thing right there, this little button, and that's how we operate the seat post. Each seat post can have different mounting for your handlebars, so make sure you know which type you've got and how to mount it. You should have the manual for it, so make sure you do it in the right way. In this case, I'm gonna put it like this. So first the clamp, then comes the lever, and then comes the bolt. So it will be like that. Having the lever installed, I can now cut the housing. You can see the housing is way too long. So I'm putting the housing right into the lever so that I will see how it goes, what will be the shape of it right there. And it sticks out here because it's been routed, right? So now my seat post will sit something like that. Here's the minimum insert, so I'm gonna go like 2 centimeters below that or so. And I know that this housing should end somewhere around here because it will go to the cable stop here. So I'm gonna pull this one, push it right here and pull on that side. But on my bike, these inserts are firmly holding my housing, so I need to remove the insert and then I will be able to see what's the length, the right length for my housing. And very, very soon I'm gonna be having fun with my dropper post. So don't feel discouraged with all the steps. It goes like this, and I'm gonna push it a little bit inside. Okay. And then pull it outside. Now I'm going to set the end of this housing somewhere here, just as I measured. And you see how long it is, so it is way too long. I'm gonna measure it. I think it will go on the inside of the shifter housing on this bike and go right into my lever. We do have some tolerance, of course, on it. It will be like a couple of centimeters, but I want to have a perfect line of my cable, and I think that's it. I'm gonna cut it here. This is the moment when you think, oh my gosh, is it going to be the right length? So double check and then cut. Now it's time to guide the cable through the lever and the housing. If at some point the cable stops suddenly, just like this, it means we are hitting the ferrule at the end of the housing. We need to remove it. So I want my housing to stick out once more from the seat tube, and for that I am once more removing my lever from the handlebars, because it was there just for checking out the length of my housing. I'm removing it and I will guide it or push it through the frame back there. You've got this, we are almost there. Now make sure that those ferrules on both sides of the housings are nicely on its place. So try to push those very firmly so that they stop. And once you adjust it, it will work like that. Now I'm making sure it's all in place on this side and cable is on its place, because I'm gonna cut it. So it has to be on its place like this. Now it will sit nicely. We need to measure these 19 or 18 millimeters at the end of our cable, because we're gonna be putting this nut at the end and then the job will be done. So the cable is on its place. I'm measuring 18-19 millimeters and then do the cut. We can also put the nut on the cable first so that it will maybe be easier for us to measure like that. Now I'm gonna check out how much of the cable we've got there. We've got 16, so I'm gonna go further. Should be perfect now, so I will fasten this. So the nut is fastened and I can cut the cable. Yippee! It's time to assemble the dropper post. So this nut goes inside here. Some would put a grease here. I don't, because I'm cleaning it just regularly, so I'm gonna just slide it in. Now I can measure the height of my seat post. It should be 77 centimeters from the bottom bracket to the edge of the saddle. I will set the height of it, and then I will be able to set the right shaping of my cable, and also to clamp it here on the port. The lever goes back into its place. The job is done. Now, how will this work? If I want to go down with my seat post, pushing the lever, nothing happens, but then with your butt, so when you sit on the bike, you just push it down there. Now you can do some crazy stuff on the bike, and then when you want to pedal efficiently once more, then you push the lever. That's it.